Whoa, you look cool with that thing.
I'm just clubbing.
Yeah. So
how heavy are those ones?
Yeah.
These ones are about 2 pounds.
Oh, those are only
a little
two?
bit under, yeah.
What's the lightest that you'll use for those?
The lightest probably about, like 1 pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've seen them in 1 pound. They're really skinny and small. But
so I have zero experience or knowledge using these, although I've seen people use these. And watching people use these, I can tell they're fantastic for wrist, shoulder mobility, proprioceptive ability.
Well, we're missing the bowling ball, right?
Exactly.
That's what they look like. Huh? These are entirely made out of wood?
Yeah, these are entirely made out of wood.
Okay, and people don't realize this is an ancient exercise tool. They've been around for a long time.
Yeah. And that's what attracted me to it. I mean, I love, they call it unconventional training and unconventional tools, but really we're just resurrecting old awesome ideas that people had. And this is one of those. They actually used to use these for military training, for training large groups of people to get better response, better calisthenics, better movement out of their soldiers. So
these were also, I believe, Indian wrestlers used these clubs quite a bit. The great Gama, I think that's his name, was like this undefeated wrestler. And there's a picture of him posing with a mace and a club, if I'm not mistaken. So this has been around for a long time, but there's a lot of technique involved. You have to learn how to use them.
They are pretty technical, and I think that's what's a little intimidating for some people. Once you sort of get the idea of what they're supposed to do, I think it comes a little bit easier after that. There are little intricate details to fine-tune your process, so swinging them initially might be a little awkward. Just because of range of motion or restrictions people may have in their shoulders.
Well, I was going to say, wouldn't you say too, if somebody is struggling, that's a good sign that you probably need a lot of work there, right?
Definitely, yes.
Because I know that was very glaring the first time that you had shown me this, because I've only done this a handful of times, and every time I've done it, it's been Justin who's been teaching me, and right away I could notice a difference in one side and the other.
Posture makes 100% the difference with this.
Well, show us how they look.
Yeah, are you going to teach the most basic move?
And anybody could do just a very basic thing like arm circles, right? So I mean, we all did this in grade school, right? We brought our arm back behind us and we did a reversal, we did forward rotations. So you can do the same thing with the clubs. I would prefer you to start with just one at a time, just to really make sure you're in good postural position. So I start retracted with my shoulders especially, and then depress those shoulder blades in. So that allows better travel for my arm and my shoulder. So if I'm coming up, then I'm rotating back, trying to maintain upright posture. So
now, is this the right speed? Do you want to go fast, or is it controlled?
Yeah, go slow and controlled. So really this is all about control of your body and just being meticulous with the way that it moves, so I don't want it to get away from me.
Now this is a good mobility move.
I want to put emphasis too on what Justin said. He kind of grazed right over how he retracted and depresses his shoulders. So when you retract and depress the scapula like that, it allows the humerus to make those big circles. Most people already have kind of a rounded forward shoulder. So if you try to do these circles without fixing the posture first, you're going to catch yourself hitting the scapula as you come over.
So what's interesting when you use this is a very basic club move. This one requires very little skill. It lengthens the lever. A lot of the weight is at the end, so it gives you a different feel than just doing this.
So you get resistance, so it's more mobility drill. So what I'm trying to do is strengthen my range of motion instead of just have passive flexibility with it.
Now the move that I've seen people do is the one that they go behind their head and they do, it looks very technical.
So I can show you that. So, when you get a little more intricate with the moves, the first thing I want to do is get the right grip. So I'm going to grip here, and I'm going to bring my thumb up to the ridge here. So I know the
you're grabbing like the ball at the end there.
Yeah, so it's right at the ball at the end here. I'm going to pull this into my body, so right up to my chest. So I'm going to get into this position where I'm pulling that knob into my chest. And then I want to make sure now I'm in good posture again. I'm going to start in this position.
Okay.
So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to bring my arm outside. So I'm going to open it up by leading with my elbow. And then from here, they call it like a cast. So I'm casting the weight out above my head, up above my head, And then I'm allowing it to fall and travel down about here, where now I need to pull it back into that first position. So I'm rolling it up and then back to the start. So this is where I'm in my sort of packed
This is
position
enough
of
for
the shoulder.
somebody. If you've never done this before, I know you mentioned a move, but I'm glad you're starting with this because I remember when Justin was teaching me, like just getting that mechanically down on both sides.
Takes time.
Because you need your wrist and elbow and shoulder all to work together and to promote this nice, fluid, circular movement. So
Yeah, I'm not even gonna try.
yeah.
I hit myself.
So
in the
just
face.
notice
Right away,
the
you do what I
intricate
do to
details
start.
with the wrist and elbow. As I'm out, a lot of people, their wrist will start to come down. We want to make sure that's always nice and tight and upright. So as I go to cast it, as I'm bringing it down, now I'm sort of turning my wrists as I'm bringing it in, and then I'm pulling it back up, and then back to starting position.
Now, what is the speed of this movement? Like, how fast should you be doing this?
Well, at
So-
first
when you get
should
good
probably
at it.
start.
First, really slow to make sure you're getting all those checkpoints
Because you don't want to
accomplished.
blast yourself in the chops.
Exactly. So from there, I can show you what like real-time speed would
Yeah,
look
yeah.
like. So as I'm coming out, I'm gonna come up, I'm gonna catch it up, let gravity do the work right there. So there's only really the work that's happening as I'm pulling it in and then launching it out away from my body.
There's a lot of mobility going on here. Wrist mobility, shoulder mobility,
Yeah, lots of
elbow
moving
mobility.
parts.
This is a fantastic primer. I could see someone doing this before they do a heavy lift. I could see the people doing this to rehab shoulders. This is pretty awesome. Pretty
So that's
awesome.
your basic rotational
And you can do
exercise.
2 at a time, right?
Yeah, that's eventually. That's the next video.
Well, I know, but I just want to see
You
how
could
cool it
just
looks.
show.
Yeah,
you
you
could just show. So I would start with the racked position here again. I'm out, and I'm kicking it away, and then I'm crossing them. That's the complicated
look at
part.
that.
I'm just
Now
crossing
that
them.
looks cool. Awesome.
All right.
Thank you, Justin.
That's the Indian clubs.
Excellent.